let's normalize being honest on this app. Anywho, so I feel like I am being vulnerable and just sharing my story as far as like, why am I even making content, right? So October of 2025, I was working for Starbucks and they did a mass layoff. And unfortunately, I was part of that layoff. You can actually check one of my videos, you can check one of my videos where I kind of made that announcement. But initially when it happened, I feel like I wasn't necessarily, it didn't really hit me fully. Also, I had this idea that because of like the experience that I have and things like that, like I'll be able to bounce back quickly. The reality is, did not work out that way, okay? Now, I'm going to show some gratitude because I do have a job. I work overnight in a warehouse. However, going from being a store manager to working in a warehouse overnight where you're just like literally just, a regular associate is a very dramatic shift for so many reasons. One, I don't mind taking directions from others. Like, that's not a huge deal, but not having much say of like what's going on has been a shift for me. The pay difference, night and day. Mind you, I had moved into my first apartment. I'm not gonna say my first apartment, but my first apartment where I'm actually like on my own by myself. This is my first time going through that experience, and I did that December of 2024, so I was a year in, and then to turn around and to lose my job. Some scary shit, mind you, my apartment was based on how much I was making with the job that I had, and so going from that pay to what I'm making now, scary shit, okay? So I felt like I'm pretty sure like I'm not the only person that's going through a tough time. Definitely not the only person going through a transition where you may have lost your job. And I feel like it's important that people actually share their experience, because I feel like sometimes when it comes to social media, people like to glamorize it and only show the good parts and how, they're making all this money and all this and that, when like the reality is a good majority of us is not there. And it actually can cause a lot of depression, right? And so some of the content that I've been making is me just transitioning from, going from one job to the next, but also like I'm just trying to create my own lane at this point. I've applied to jobs, I've gotten a few interviews, but either I'm met with responses as like they don't think I'm ready, which I'm like, how? How? I was at Starbucks for 6 years. Prior to Starbucks, I worked for Nordstrom as an assistant manager for 8 years. So, how? How am I not ready? And a lot of them would say, well, like this is a different, a different environment, we do things differently, but it's like, that's called, learning as you go. I don't know. So anyway, I don't know if I'm going through this because I know a lot of companies have taken down their DEI, where it's like, I don't know if it's because I'm black, I don't know if it's because I'm a woman, I don't know. But finding a job right now that actually meets my needs and meets my expectations as far as like how much I get paid and things of that nature has been extremely difficult. Therefore, I'm just like, maybe I need to figure this out for myself. I've been a person that has, tried to do their own business, but let's be honest, one, it's not easy, two, it costs money. And I feel like right now, Miss Girl is tight on cash, okay? So I say all this to say, like, if you ever see my videos pop up, if you could just, give it a like, any kind of engagement would be helpful. I don't want to sit here and beg nobody, but, it's free at the end of the day. It's free to like, it's free to share, it's free to save, it's free to comment. But that will help me a great deal with reaching my goal of being able to monetize my platforms. Anywho, but I just want people to know that although times are hard, I'm still very much hopeful. I do have my days where I might get down in the dumps, just trying to, figure out what's my next opportunity, how am I going to make ends meet, how am I, especially right now with like just shit, going to the grocery store makes you want to have a panic attack, okay? I went there the other day and I feel like the average price for everything was $7.99 for basic ass shit, and it's just like, bro, how? I'm spending $200 for like 10 items. And that's not even, and that's me gassing it like a little bit, but yeah, times is rough. But there is going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I'm very much spiritual, so I'm just trying to keep my faith up and hope that the right opportunity will find me, and or what I'm doing right now is going to help me propel my life so that I can break away from the grind, the 9-to-5 grind. I feel like that is the ultimate goal for me right now. When I think about just how much time I spent at Starbucks and really just trying to make a name for myself there, is just like, you do so much for companies just for them to show you that you're very much disposable. So if I had to say any learning lessons that I've taken from there is, do not give your all to a job. Just don't. I do have a certain type of work ethic where I feel like, I personally just like to do well in general, but I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I do want to make sure with any job going forward that I'm constantly like still putting my resume out there, still looking for the next better role, because at any point people will get rid of you for no rhyme or reason at that. So yeah, but anywho, I think that's my little tidbit for right now, but I wanted to share that, and hopefully if you resonate with what I'm saying or you're going through the same thing, feel free to share your experience or how you're feeling right now in the comments, and I'll see you soon. Bye.